Next in geometry we have a quiz, but let's review a little bit first. I want you to try to answer these questions. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. I want you to answer them before I do. I want you to do it until you miss 3. Whenever you miss 3, I want you to stop the tape, go back to the beginning, and do it again until you can get these without missing any. Okay? Alright. When two statements are connected with the word "and," the new statement is called a blank. When two statements are connected with the word "and," the new statement is called a blank. Disjunction. If a statement is true, its negation is blank. If a statement is true, then its negation is blank. Its negation is false. Okay. What is the inverse of P implies Q? What is the inverse of P implies Q? Okay. The inverse of P implies Q is not P. If not P, then not Q. Now in this particular question, it's just multiple choice. But if it's not multiple choice, you're not going to be able to make that sign on your computer. You're just going to have to type the word "not." Okay? Alright, let's look at another one. What is the contrapositive of Y implies X? Or if Y, then X? I want the contrapositive. Okay, remember contrapositive, we switch them and we negate them. So you should have said, if not X, then not Y. Alright, let's look at another one. If P is true and Q is false, okay, P is true and Q is false, what is if P then Q? Okay, that is false. You should have come up with false. When two statements are connected with the word "or," what is the new statement called? When two statements are connected with the word "or," what is the new statement called? Okay, it's a disjunction. If I have this statement, if P then Q, or P implies Q, what is the converse? I want the converse of that statement. Okay. You should have remembered converse. All converse means is that we switch it. If Q, then P, or Q implies P. Alright. What is the contrapositive of this statement. Remember, to find a contrapositive, we switch them and we negate them. So if not Q, then not P. Alright, let's look at another one. If P is true and Q is true, what is the conditional? Okay. If P is true and Q is true, the conditional is true. What if P is false and Q is false? What is the conditional? Okay, you should have put true. The conditional is still going to be true. Okay, what if P is false and Q is true? What is the conditional? Excuse me, I'm sorry. It wants to know what is that. Okay. If P is false, that means it's true. So if this is true, and if this is not true, that means it's false. So if this is true and that's false, the answer is false. You should have come up with false. Okay? Let's do another one. What if P and Q are both true? Then what would if not Q, then not P? What would that be? Would that be true or false? Okay. Well, if not Q, so if Q is not true, then it's false. So if Q is false and P is not true, so P is false. Q is false and P is false, then my answer is true. Are you remembering these? Let's do another one. What if P is false and Q is false? Then what is not Q is not P? If not Q, then not P. Okay. Not Q means Q is not false. So Q is true and P is true. So if Q, then P would be, you should have put true. Okay? What if I said, if whoa, stop it. If salt is white, then apples are blue. What would that be? Okay, well, let's look at it. Is salt white? Yes. Are apples blue? No. So, if P but not Q is going to be false. Okay? What if I said if apples are blue, then salt is white? What would that be? Alright, well, let's look at it. Are apples blue? No. Is salt white? Yes. Remember, on a conditional, if P is false, it's automatically true. Right? So this is true. On a conditional, if P is false, it doesn't matter what Q is. Do you remember? Okay, what if I said if P is true and Q is false, I keep putting a G. Okay, if not Q, then not P. Would that be true or false? Alright, well, let's look at it. If not Q, okay, if Q is not false, that means it's true. Then not P. If P is not true, then it's false. So this would be false. Right? What if I said make sure you memorize that conditional chart. If P is false, Q is true, then what is, if not Q, then not P? What's this going to be? Okay, well, let's look at it. If not Q, Q is true, that means Q is false, then not P. P is false. If not P, then it's true. Now remember, if the first one's false, it doesn't matter what the second one is on a conditional. It's automatically true. Did you remember that? Let's try another one. What if they're both false? Then not Q. If not Q, then not P. Would that be true or false? Okay, let's look at it. Not Q. So Q is not false. That means Q is true. And not P. So if P is not false, then P is true. That means it's true. Okay, let's try one more. What if I have P is true and Q is true? I want to know if not P, then Q. Is that true or false? Alright, well, let's look at it. If not P, so if P is not true, that means it's false. Then Q, we say Q is true. Now remember, if the first one's false, it doesn't matter what the second one is. It's automatically true. The only time it's false is if this one's if this one's true and this is false, it's false. All the other times it's true. Remember? Okay. Make sure you understand this. Go back and study it until you know it. The easiest way to study it is to memorize the chart. The easiest way to study this is to memorize this chart, the conditional chart. This is conditional. This is P. This is Q. This is the conditional. If P is Q and T is true, Q is true, it's true. Yes. If you babysit, I will pay you. That's true. If you babysit and I don't pay you, that's false. If you don't babysit, it doesn't matter if I pay you or not because you didn't babysit. Right? Okay. The only time it's false is if the first one's true and the second one's false. Okay? This is the easiest way to memorize that. Alright? Make sure you know it and then go take your quiz.